President, and as usual, Bradford is leading the way. US President Barack Obama thinks drone attacks are funny. In fact, if you go on YouTube, he and his fellow Americans laugh about predator drones. You won't see them coming, he smirks. And he's right. Mazel Khan's 8-year-old son didn't see the joke, nor did he see the predator drone coming. When a fragment from a Hellfire missile killed him as he slept in the family courtyard in Waziristan. Don't expect Mazel to find the joke funny either. Nor is 8th grade student Fahim Qureshi laughing. He lost his eyesight and hearing in 1 year when a strike affected him and killed his classmates and a number of his relatives. They're not militants, they're not Al-Qaeda, these are children. No one is laughing, Mr. President. In fact, your callous sense of humour disgusts and dismays us. Since the CIA launched its drone strikes in 2004, I've got some statistics for you. The total number of drone strikes is 344, and of those, around 50 were ordered under the Bush administration. That means Obama, a man who entered the White House on a platform of human rights, promises and pledges to deliver justice, has to date ordered no less than 300 strikes. Several times a month, he gathers in the Oval Office with his advisors and ticks off names from a list of so-called militants. In other words, he is playing God, deciding who should live and who should die. And after every strike, his office releases details of how many militants have been killed. Well, I don't know how they can tell us with any authority who has been killed, and the White House press corps is too lily-livered to ask how they can ascertain the credibility of these claims. Journalists are not allowed into the area. Those brave souls gone into report have ended up dead or disappeared. But the reality is, of the 2,562 people killed so far, up to 881 were civilians. And of those, nearly 200 were children. Nearly 200 children. That isn't funny. Someone ought to tell that to the American president. Drone attacks by the US. Drone attacks by the US have severe repercussions in Pakistan. For just about every drone mission there is, a suicide mission follows. And in terms of casualties, the suicide missions virtually match the civilian deaths taken out in drone attacks. Suicide bombing was never heard of in Pakistan until the Americans arrived. No one had heard of the Pakistan Taliban until 2004, and I'll tell you when the Pakistan Taliban was born. It was in 2004 in Waziristan, when an unmanned drone went over and shot some Hellfire missiles into a home, killing 15 people, including women and children. The people in the area were outraged, and the next day thousands turned up for the funeral. And guess what? US drones turned up and started killing the mourners. That was the day the Pakistan Taliban was born. I said before, between drone attacks and suicide bombing in a country I love, a country that I consider to be like my second home. In 2011, when drone attacks declined, the number of suicide attacks also dropped. When the CIA halted drone attacks after the US attack on the Pakistani military post, there was a clear reduction in suicide attacks over the same period. So even people who are sitting in upscale Islamabad should shudder every time a drone takes off and flies over the areas of Waziristan. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out how to stop suicide attacks. Stop the drone attacks! Just by turning up today, you are showing the world that you care about the injustices raining down on the good people of Pakistan. And let's not forget those terrorized in Yemen and Somalia and elsewhere either. On February the 23rd of this year, relatives of children killed and injured in these drone attacks filed complaints against the USA with the United Nations. But don't think for 1 minute that this is an American-only targeted campaign. Noor Khan is planning to sue the UK for its involvement in a drone strike on a lawyer Jirga, a peaceful meeting which killed his father. Write to your local MP. I hear he actually listens to his constituents. Write to your local MP and ask him to find out the truth about Britain's involvement in drone strikes. We don't want any more cover-ups, no more secrets. The fatal shooting of the black teenager Trayvon Martin in America shocked a nation and went beyond. His death inspired tens of thousands to march for justice and even prompted the US President to declare, "If I had a son, he would look like Trayvon." It took nearly 6 weeks for the man in Florida accused of killing him to be arrested and charged with second-degree murder, but it only came after enormous public pressure. The defense of the armed man who pursued Trayvon said that he thought that the teenager was acting suspicious and that he was up to no good. And that is exactly the same excuse used by President Barack Obama as he justifies picking names off his kill list for drone attacks. He is targeting people purely on hearsay, purely because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. He called for an investigation into the death of Trayvon, but who is going to investigate the president for his extrajudicial killings? He's a man out of control, and while his predecessor justified his actions with the catch-all, "God told me to do it," this president thinks he is God, making decisions about who should live and who should die. And we're seeing the turmoil across the Arab world now unfolding, and it's a legacy of the drone attacks. It's a collective of all sorts of US action. If he was the head of a banana republic, the UN Security Council would be meeting to bring about regime change, with the International Criminal Court on standby with a writ to charge Obama with war crimes. But the USA is not a banana republic, not yet anyway. And Obama is the head of a superpower. He's supposed to be the most powerful man in the world, the man who in 2009 went to Cairo and convinced us that he was going to engage positively with the Muslim world from the Middle East to Asia. Well, we've seen what American engagement has done from the Middle East to Asia, and he is reaping the whirlwind for that now. life is a fox being heralded and saluted by his victims as he walks up the ramp to the chicken coop. It is almost beyond belief that the drone kill list has been sanctioned by a man who won the Nobel Peace Prize. Even his own people are sickened by the hypocrisy and double standards coming out of the White House. America's outgoing ambassador to Pakistan, Cameron Munter, a man with more backbone and guts than his predecessor, has revealed that he regards the drone strike-driven policy of his government as unacceptable. Rather tellingly, he has complained to colleagues that he didn't realize his main job in Pakistan was to kill people. That is from a former ambassador in Pakistan. Sadly, Obama's killing sprees have gone largely unchecked by ordinary Americans because they haven't a clue what has been done in their name. This is sad because Americans do care about justice and fair play. They showed this when they rallied and demonstrated against the death of the black teenager Trayvon Martin, who was killed by a man because he thought he was up to no good. That man will now stand trial for his actions, and his fate will be decided by a judge and jury looking at openly presented evidence. This is the real justice, not the shoot and kill version which is coming to define the American presidency. But it can be stopped. The killing can be stopped. If enough of us stand up, we can make a difference. When the people start to lead, the leaders have to follow, or they will become irrelevant. As Zinedine Ben Ali, Muammar Gaddafi and Hosni Mubarak found out. When injustice is the law, resistance is our duty, and we must do whatever it takes by every possible peaceful means to stop these drone attacks. Thank you. Salam alaikum.